Alright, Shalom. First off, give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Kadash, the abundance to the apostles and elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring, and truth and sincerity, and the women and children who follow. So I just wanted to do this lesson today over the so-called rapture. Someone that, the brother that had mentioned it to me, a younger brother in the spirit, he had mentioned it to me. He was ready to see it or whatnot, and basically, I'm just doing this video for the younger brothers, for the ones who may not know, or for the ones who are confused, and basically just for edification. That whole the idea of the rapture and the doctrine of the rapture, because that's what it is a doctrine, isn't biblical. We will be saved out of America, but it's not going to be the way that the so-called church claims that it'll be. Okay, so this is from Wikipedia.com. I'm just gonna start reading. It says the rapture is I'm gonna fuck this word up. That term used by certain Christians, particularly within branches of American and I can't say nothing today, boy. Evangelicalism, referring to a purported end-time event when all the Christian believers, living and dead, will rise to the sky to join Hamashiach, join Christ. Some adherents believe that this event is predicted and described in Paul's first epistle to the Thessalonians in the Bible, where he used the Greek harpozo, meaning to snatch away or seize. Though it had been used differently in the past, the term is now often used by certain believers to distinguish this particular event from the second coming of Yahushua Mashiach to the earth, mentioned in 2 Thessalonians, the Gospel of Matthew, 1 Corinthians, and Revelations. It says usually viewing it as preceding the second coming of the followed by the 1,000-year millennial kingdom. Okay, so first thing I want to get, I actually want to get that scripture in Thessalonians. Okay, it says, this is 1 Thessalonians 1:4. It says, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with the shout." If this is going to precede the Lord coming back, then how would the Lord himself descend with a shout? Okay, so strike one. It says, "With the voice of the archangel and with the voice of the trumpet of the Most High, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. So we shall be So shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words." Okay, so what they're saying is basically the dead and the living are going to be snatched away into the sky. Okay, they're just going to disappear or whatnot. And then the Lord's going to come back and whatever, and there's going to be 1,000-year kingdom, which they get that in Revelations, which we'll get that here shortly. But what that's talking about right now, that's talking about the being caught in the air together. That's talking about actually being beamed up into the ships, okay, being saved, and by the so-called UFOs, which they're IFOs, okay? They're not aliens. They're not spaceships, okay? Those are the angels of the Most High, and that's how we're gonna get saved out of here, man. That's the way we're getting out of here, man. We came in, raggedy ass cargo slave ships, but we leaving in those chariots, man. Like the brothers in Jersey say, man. I like that saying. So we came in a terrible manner, but we leave it in class and style, man. That's what the Most High got planned for us. But the way that they make it sound, when you go to reading in here, they don't know what the fuck they talking about, man. Just to be blatant, man. They don't know what the hell they talking about. So I'm gonna get this, cause like I said, it's talking about that 1,000 years. So let's see what this millennial kingdom, what it says. Millennialism, from millennium meaning 1,000 years, or Chileism, is a belief advanced by some Christian denominations that a golden age or paradise will occur on earth in which Christ will reign for 1,000 years prior to the final judgment and future eternal state. So why would there have to be 1,000 years that Christ is going to be here reigning before the final judgment? Okay, when the Lord come back, that is the final judgment. Okay, that's when everybody gonna have to, is you gonna be chosen if you're an Israelite, or you're not gonna make it, and all the other nations gonna get their judgment as well. That's when we're gonna come back and take this place, and that's the beginning of the kingdom. But you people don't read the scriptures. You weren't ordained by the Most High to break these scriptures down right. So that's our job. That's what we got to do. Okay, so we're going to get this Revelation chapter 20, because that's what it's referring to. It says, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand." Now that bottomless pit is not talking about hell. Okay, the bottomless pit is talking about Europe. Okay, and this is a past prophecy. This isn't a future prophecy. This is a past prophecy. Okay, it says, "And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years." Okay, so what that's talking about, it's talking about the dark ages. Okay, when the medieval times, so to speak, when Jake was actually ruling. Okay, when the so-called white man was in slavery, when he was in the mountains, and you had nothing but Jake ruling. That's that 1,000-year period, man. It says, "And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season." So why would, if that's what the scriptures say, that in their interpretation, that the Lord's going to come back and he's going to have 1,000-year reign, and then the Satan's going to get out of jail, and he's going to be able to fuck with Yahweh's kingdom? It doesn't make sense, man. The two's not matching up. That's why, you got to be circumspect. You got to read, and ultimately you got to be in the spirit, man, to see all this, man. And all the breakdowns are still here, man. They're available. If you even on my page, I believe you can go to one of my folders and you can get all the World War III. I said World War III. I've been watching the World War III algorithm videos lately, but those are beautiful videos as well. But the Revelation breakdown videos are on my page as well, so you can check them out. But that's what it's talking about, man. When it says the 1,000-year period should be fulfilled, that's talking about back then. And when it says that's talking about back then, and after that he must be loosed a little season. All right, so that period right there is the Renaissance. That's when the so-called white man came out of the mountains or whatnot, and they started getting back into power, which was after the Black Death. Okay, that's when the pneumonic and the bubonic plague came along and started killing Jake in mass numbers. Why? Because it was his time. It was Esau's time to rule. Okay, that's him being loose for that little season, and we've been going on through that from back then until now. Okay, but you at the end, okay, your little season is over. It's damn near over. The Lord's about to come back. Okay? Him with the chariots, the thousands of heavens, the angels, okay? In the men of the Lord too. It's like we're gonna rise up and we're gonna take this kingdom down. That's the real deliverance, okay? Not this bullshit that they want you to believe over here. Let me see. I thought not none of this bullshit, okay? It says the term rapture is especially used in discussing or disputing the exact timing or the scope of the event, particularly when asserting the pre-tribulation view that the rapture will occur before and not during the second coming, with or without an extended tribulation period. That tribulation period they're talking about is Jacob's trouble. Okay, because they believe that they're not going to have to go through Jacob's trouble. Some of them believe that, that they don't have, as long as I accept the Lord, he's going to save me and I ain't got to go through no shit. No. Straight is the gate. Okay? Those dire straits, man, that's what we got to go through. You want to get out of here, you got to go through those straits, man. It's going to happen to everybody. It happened to me. It happened to all the other brothers. It's going to happen to you. If you are ordained to get out of here, Lord willing, we are. But you ain't going to just not be able to go through nothing, man. That's why it's called Jacob's trouble, because Jacob got to go through the troubles. Okay? And you got to go through the fire. You got to make it through the fire. Okay? Like it says in 2nd Ezra, as if it were the fire on one hand and a deep water on the other hand. And there's only, matter of fact, I'm going to just get it. Salaki. Okay, so it says, 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, starting at verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and it is full of all good things. That's talking about the kingdom. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall. Okay? So, in order to get into the kingdom, okay, it's going to be a dangerous place that you got to go through to get to this kingdom. Okay? It says, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. Okay? So that's Jacob's trouble. You got to go through a dangerous place. You got to make it, through it. You got to endure to the end. He that endured to the end, the same should be saved. What do you got to endure if you don't have to go through a dire strait? You ain't enduring nothing. If you're just going to be saved before all the pop off. It says, verse 9, if the city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the dangers set before it, how should he receive an inheritance? So if you're going to get the kingdom, but you don't want to make it through the straits, how are you going to get into the kingdom? You're not. Okay, this is mandatory. Okay, it's just like you had mandatory overtime at your job, or your shift or whatnot. You got to work your shift, and this is mandatory, man. Jacob's trouble is not an option; it's mandatory. That might be the next lesson I go through. But that's all I really wanted to go through as far as the rapture is concerned. And with that being said, call all. That's all praise to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the B'Shem Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect. All the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, and the women and children who follow. Shalom.